last decade or so, we've been working with hundreds and hundreds of leaders who seem to be under incredible pressure to increase the engagement of their employees. There's this big trend out in the industry of helping managers work on the engagement levels of their employees, and in fact their employees are being measured on engagement quite regularly, and the managers seem to get in trouble if their employees aren't engaged, or in great organizations they get some help engaging their employees, and we think that's fantastic, and we help out with that. But the focus of the leader as the core of the engagement strategy to us is a bit misguided, and we have a 3 degrees model of engagement that sees the leader certainly as one key piece of engagement, but also sees the organizational systems as a key piece and the employee themselves as a key piece. So if we talk about organizational systems, you know, as a leader I can do all sorts of tremendous things with my employees and yet see that their engagement drops because organizational systems aren't in place. The promotion system, for example, could be unfair, or the rewards approach tends to reward people inadequately or unfairly or in ways that are perceived by the employees as just not equitable. And so I do this work as a leader, and yet the organizations don't have the systems in place to support what I'm doing. And of course, the systems aren't that difficult, but organizations have to think through everything from how are they orienting their people all the way to the performance management systems, right through to the retirement process. What are all those systems in place that are helping employees stay committed, stay engaged, and stay involved with the organization? But the third part of engagement, the third degree of engagement, is the one that we see, I think, neglected the most, which is the employee themselves. Employees have a piece of engagement. This is not something we do to employees. Engagement is about doing things with employees where they feel ownership, they feel some sense of voice, some ability to be causal agents in their own growth, their own development, and in the organization's success. And yet we don't see a whole lot of tools out there and a whole lot of processes that help employees step up to the plate to start thinking about what are my values, what are my interests, what are my characters, what are my strengths that I bring to this organization? How can I communicate that to my teammates, to my manager, to the leaders, to the decision makers, so that we all can make better decisions about my deployment, we can make better decisions about my development, we can make better decisions about my progression in this organization. We have a culture now where it seems that employees are waiting to be discovered. They're waiting for managers to tell them what they need to learn and where they're important and where they should be praised and where they should be rewarded, rather than the employees doing some of that thinking for themselves. And so when I talk about employee engagement, I'm thinking everything from that initial step when you start bringing employees into the organization. What's being done to help create an atmosphere where they start thinking immediately about, hey, what's my piece of this? So for example, we have software we call Managing Up that helps an employee start looking at what's my piece of managing upwards, feeding information to my manager, what's my piece of that and how do I get better at it? It's those sorts of tools that I think will start helping employees take far more ownership of engagement and round out those 3 degrees of engagement so that we truly can get workforces that are committed right from the inside out, not in a way where it's just done to them in some temporary fashion.